of the e-content of Introduction to Building Planning. Now, as we have already discussed that in this video, we are going to discuss about the building rule and that too of KMC building rule. So here we are going to discuss of KMC building rule, as I hope you can see my screen. So this is KMC building rule 2014. So many things is written here. We will just go through um, uh, important points. So if you open here, if you can see here, you see in front we have many important definitions like the act, like addition of building, alteration, apartment, applicant, architect. So these things we will see. And then another important thing here we need to understand, that is uh, floor area ratio. Floor area ratio means the total covered area in all floors divided by the plot area. Now, this will be very important for us, because when we will go for the building plan on how much area, even if we have a plot of a certain size, on how much area we can really cover, and or how much area we can make building plan. In fact, how many story we can make for a building, that thing will depend on the FAR value. Then we have another important thing is ground coverage. Ground coverage means the area of the plot covered by building vertically projected on the ground level, divided by area of the plot into 100. Okay, because at some cases we will look at the ground coverage, somewhere mentioned 60%, somewhere it is mentioned 80%, somewhere it is mentioned 40%. So depending on that, we can select particular the area that we can cover for making any building. And also depending on the cover area, we can figure out that how much area of each floor will be of. And also depending on the FAR value, we can figure out maximum number of story we can make for a particular building. Now if we move, then we will find other important definitions like you see interior space, exterior space, kitchen, kitchenette, lift, lift well, loft, mezzanine floor, minaret, open space. Okay, again we have open space requirement. Later in details we will figure out. Then we have plane, plan area, all the definitions that we really require for making building or for constructing buildings, in fact for any kind of building structure. So all the definitions you will find here. Now, here are the different types of building. You see residential building, educational building, institutional building, assembly building, business building, ITES building, mercantile building, industrial storage building, hazardous building, and all. Now here WC, wherever you find WC means that is water closet. Then width of the road or the street, or width of the main means of access. Now main means of access means the main road. Even if any plot has multiple number of roads in its sideway, we will construct the widest portion, widest road as our main means of access. Now we will move directly to the point what we require. Yes. Now what is number of amount of fee we need to pay? Remember this is of 2014. Later we have 2017 and again some few amendments. So rate may change, but as mentioned in 2014 rate chart, here you see for plots measuring up to 330 square meter, we need to pay rupees 100 per square meter for APR value above 1.5 and up to its allowable limit. Now, if there is any plot where we are going to construct in a building which is having area of more than 3030 square meter up to 4000 square meter, there you see if APR value is up to 1.5, the rate is 125 per square meter, and if it is more than 1.5, then the rate is 175. And plots measuring above 4000 square meter, the rate is different. For APR value up to 1.5, it is rupees 200 per square meter, and more than 1.5 APR value, rate is 300 per square meter. This is for residential building. For educational building, we have been given a rate. For other buildings other than residential educational building, also there is the mentioned chart for the amount for getting the sanction. Now, for occupancy certificate, also we need to fill a form, application form, and along with that application form, we need to pay some levy to the local authorities like municipality and corporate or corporation. So all the rates you will find here. Now, when we will draw, now how we will draw and with which ink we will draw all items. You see, plot lines will be of thick black line, building plan it is thick black, existing road will be of dark green, future road if any that will be mentioned using green dotted lines, permissible building lines, thick dotted black lines, open spaces will be of no color, nothing mentioned. Existing one will be of yellow, building yellow means yellow hai. Then work proposed to be demolished means which we will deduct, that will be of yellow hatch line. Proposed work will be of red field, drainage sewage work will be of red dotted line, water supply of black dotted line, greenery will be of greenish, greenwash or green field. So all these thing will. Now amalgamation of plot. Amalgamation of plot means you may have one existing plot. Now just beside that you want to add that plot. You want to add that plot to your existing plot, so that when you will just join your plot together, then the two plots together can be considered as one single plot, and accordingly you may get your building plan sanctions. Okay, so that is called amalgamation of plot. Now we will move to this one. Now restriction about the minimum distance to maintain from the electric lines. Now you see, if we have any low medium voltage lines that is up to 440 volt, then vertical clearance we need to maintain from the uh, 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 electric wire to the topmost portion of the building should be at least 2.5 meter, and in horizontal clearance to the uh, projected portion, that means the clear distance between the electric wire to the nearest point of the building should be at least 1.2 meter. Same way, if there is any high voltage line that is up to 11,000 volt, the vertical distance should be at least 3.7 meter and horizontal distance is 1.2 meter. High voltage line which is of 11,000 volt to up to 333,000 volt, then same way vertical distance should be at least 3.7 meter, horizontal distance should be of at least 2 meter. Now we will move to the next portions, what is very important, because signature, who are the signature authority? Here you see, for sanctioning, obviously there is engineers in different municipality or in administration. Now privately, for sanctioning any building, who should sign on your sets? Here you see, for any building plan which is of within a plot size 1 hectare and a building height is up to 15 meter, then we need to sign. We need to take sign from this type of technical persons. So up to 15-meter height and area will be of 1 hectare. That will be architect and civil engineer. Same way, if plot size exceeds 1500 square meter and building height is up to 1.5 meter, then or above, then we need to take signature of all these four technical person, that is architect, structural engineer, geotechnical engineer, structural reviewer. And for the plot size above 2 hectares means large area construction, we need to we need to take signature of five technical persons: architect, town planner, structural engineer, geotechnical engineer, as well as structural reviewer. Same way, for this is for sanctioning of the building plan. Now for erection of building also we need to maintain these technical persons at the project site. Depending on your plot size, depending on the height of the building and the volume of construction, we need to employ these technical persons. Then there is a complete definition that who can be architect, who can be civil engineer, who can be structural engineer, who can be geotechnical engineer. So these things is not required for making building plans. So that's why I'm skipping these portions. Now this thing, yes, if we need to make any building which is of mix using, means you will make any residential using a residential building with some commercial uses, some residential building along with educational uses. So this kind of mixes if we want to make, and if we want to take the sanction, so maximum amount of permissible extent of permissible mixing is mentioned here. You see, for residential education institutions, they are of 25%. It means primary purpose will consist of 75%, and rest of the 25% can be used for other purposes. But to point to remember is that point to remember is, if we want to make any residential unit, residential building, we cannot use it for storages of hazardous materials. Now, point of main means of access. So you see, depend in the table 7, we will get maximum permissible height depending on the width of main means of access. So here we can see in this table that if we have any main means of access of with more than 2.4 meter and up to 3 meter, maximum height of the building should be 7 meter. That means only two-story building. If width of the road exceeds 3 meter and up to 5 meter, maximum height is 10 meter. That means up to three-story building. If width of road is 5 meter to 7 meter, maximum height of building will be 12.5 meter. That means maximum four-story building. So in this way, we will get different values here. Next is FAR value. Now, already I told this is very important because depending on the main means of access, we will have maximum value of floor area ratio. So here you see, if we have any road, any means of access, which is up to 2.4 meter, there is nothing mentioned for FAR value. Now, above 2.5 meter up to 3.5 meter, we have FAR value only for residential building. And for educational and other buildings, at least the width of the road should be 7 meter. Now, ground coverage for residential building, wherever we have any plot, maximum 50% can be covered. And for educational building, 45%, institutional 40%, assembly 40%. So all these way for different types of building, we have different value of ground coverage. And this is for open space. Now we all know that when we will make any building plan, we need to keep some area open in all four sides. So that too also depends on the height of the building. Now already we have seen that height of the building depends on main road, width of the main road. Now here we see that how much area we have to keep open in all four sides depending on width of main road. So sorry, depending on the height of the building. So if height of the building is up to 7 meters, that is only for two-story building, in all four, all three sides, front, side one and side two, we need to keep 1.2 meter space open. For rear side, we need to keep 2 meter space open. If height of the building is 7 meter to 10 meter, then in front side and in on two sides, we need to keep open 1.2 meter, and in rear side, we have to keep open 3 meter space. And in this way, it is mentioned that up to 80 meter, how much space we need to leave as an open space, and if any building exceeds 80-meter height, then how much space we have to keep open. So I hope you can see this table on the screen. So that was for residential building. Here we will see for other non-residential buildings like institutional assembly, mercantile, how much space we have. open. Now we will move to the other thing, that is ventilation shaft. Now for different heights, for different building, we see how much ventilation shaft and the size of the ventilation shaft we have to provide. Then green space. For environmental aspect, we have to keep some space greenery or for gardening in each and every plot. So up to 15,000 square meter, we need to leave 4% as greenery. Up to 1 hectare, we need to keep open 5% for greenery purpose. 10 hectare it will be 8%, 20 hectare will be 10%, and above 20 hectares at least 12%. So depending on your plot size, we have to maintain green spaces. Now this is for parking space. For different types of vehicles, we need to make different size of parking area, and the size will be different. So depending on your dimension. So minimum dimension is 2.5 meter in width, 5 meter in length, and in height it should be at least 2.2 meter if it is small car. If it is bus or truck, then head space should be at least of 4.75 meter. So that was it in this video lecture. I hope this is already sufficient for making any building plan. So thank you very much for joining in this video lectures. All the best.